Opening the door for this is, what is it that we then as cruise fans want? Do we want no testing to get on a cruise? It is Wednesday, December 29th, 2021, and on this special edition of Sofa Time, I'm giving you an update on our current health situation and talking about cruise plans. By the way, I'm going to be commenting on some of your comments from the last video, so make sure you stick around till the end if you want to see if maybe I talk about your comment. It's only been 2 days since I sat down here in front of the red sofa, and I know a lot of you are waiting for an update about the current situation. If you missed the last video, about a week after we got back from Florida, well, within the week that we returned from Florida, one of the people that we were with tested positive and was feeling yucky. And Marcus started feeling yucky, also tested positive, and what a surprise, I tested positive now too. I'm not feeling really yucky. I do have this weird, like, sore, sinusy throat thing. I feel kind of snotty, but don't say it. I feel kind of snotty, but when I breathe in and out, it kind of burns like it's dry. It's weird. It would be like having oily skin that feels dry and cracky. And my voice is also a little bit hoarse, so my upper respiratory system is a little bit wonky. Other than that, we're actually doing pretty good. Both of us are vaccinated, and I was boosted several weeks ago, and Marcus just got boosted last week. So honestly, if the person that we were with in Florida hadn't tested positive, I'm sure Marcus would have first of all just thought, okay, the problems I'm having now are the side effects of getting boosted. But because we knew that somebody we had spent time with was positive, that's why we started testing and why we found it all out. But it seems like we're gonna get through this with just sort of minor symptoms, and I'm so happy for that. We know not everybody can just stay home for a few days and then get better and go out and live their life again. So my positive test was from yesterday. Did I get it yesterday? Yeah, so that would have been Tuesday. And yesterday evening, I did start to feel, kind of yucky before bedtime, like more than I feel right now. Right now, I just feel just a little bit sleepy. And like I said, just a little bit of burning, a little bit of hoarseness. But last night, before bedtime, I was like, I feel really like I need to lay down now. So as far as the quarantine rules, as far as like how long I have to sort of stay here at home and have no contact with other people before I can test again, it's kind of confusing. There's a lot of information out there. And I know from having conversations with some of you as well that you're in the same boat. Two of my friends here in Hamburg, who were not with me in Florida last week, have also tested positive over Christmas. They also have cold and flu-like symptoms. They're also laying in bed waiting for it to end. And we were discussing, okay, when you read this document from the health center, how do you understand it? Do you understand that it's 5 days after you have no symptoms that you can test again to get out of quarantine? Or is it 5 days after your first positive test that you can test out of quarantine? That's kind of what we're trying to figure out now. One good thing about it is we've both, like everybody I've talked to agrees that in the documentation that is online from the health center here in Germany, that we don't both need to stay in quarantine the entire time. If we were both positive and then both positive and one of us can prove, okay, I'm done, I'm healthy again, that person can go back outside while the other one still has a couple days of quarantine. And since Marcus started this whole party a couple days earlier than me, he will most likely be the first one who gets to go back outside. Now I'm gonna move on to tell you about some cruising plans I've been looking at. I've had some time to look. Of course, nowadays, if I'm not traveling, I do spend a lot of time here at home anyways. But at the moment, there's no going out to eat, there's no going to play tennis, there's no going swimming, all these other things, these other like extracurricular activities that I do.
Not happening.
I have been baking. I baked a loaf of bread like 3 days ago, and just this morning I tried to make like this crispy, cheesy potato bread that I saw on YouTube. The filling worked out really, really good. I totally pimped it over the recipe that I saw, but the yeah, I have to do it again. The crust did not work out so well. Anyways, before I forget, thanks everybody who even bought my book since the last video. I can see the sales reports. I'm so happy that you are enjoying this, and it feels good to know that you're reading it and it's putting a smile on your face or making you think about things. Thank you so much for supporting this newest creative endeavor, and let me just ask you one more time, if you have read it, please go to Amazon and leave me some stars or write a quick review. I am going to try to be cruising within the next 2 months. Before end of February, I want to be back on board. I want to get some more sea miles on a ship. I want to get some more experiences to share with you, and the thing that is looking the most attractive at the moment would be cruising with Costa. Costa is another European, Italian cruise line. I don't think Costa is very popular in America at all. My North American friends out there, have you ever cruised with Costa? Is it even like on your radar at all, or is it more of a European thing? I know that Emma has cruised with Costa twice, I think. I know other people here in Germany, and I have European friends that have cruised with Costa. I would say nobody has ever really raved about it, and I have heard some really awful things about Costa as well, but we heard a lot of awful things about Carnival too before we tried it, and we loved our Carnival cruise. So it looks like I'm going to be cruising with Costa and will be making my own opinions. And two things or a couple things about it that seem really attractive to me. One is it's down in the Mediterranean where it's not like summer right now, but it's warmer than it is here. It's about 40 degrees Fahrenheit today, and it's raining, and everything is gray and wet, and it's just not, it's not like I can go outside, but I wouldn't be going outside anyways. And down in the Mediterranean, it's probably more like in the 60s and sunny, and if you get a good place where there's direct sunlight and no wind, you can almost sit out in the sun. The Costa Diadema is not the newest ship from Costa, which is a little unfortunate. I would love to try one of their newer ships, and it would be going to all ports I've all visited already, which is fine with me. When you've cruised the Mediterranean like 5 or 6 times, then you've gone to all the ports. And I just kind of want to go someplace warm, and I wanted to try someplace new, and it looks like it's going to be Costa. And I wanted to read you some things about the Diadema, the ship that it could be, it would be, it will be, and I'm going to do that right after this commercial break. If you got a commercial, was it for something that you wished you got for Christmas and you didn't? Let me know in the comments below. All right, I'm just gonna read you some of the copy and the facts here on the Costa website. It says, welcome on board Costa Diadema. During the day and in the evening, you will be spoiled with choices for activities, from walks at sunset to performances and theater shows where international artists will perform. It's kind of lame that they say taking a walk at sunset is like one of the activities that they offer.
You can kind of take a walk at sunset anywhere, right?
Care for an aperitif? The Aperol Spritz Bar is waiting for you. And after dinner, a games room to bring out the kid in you, or an excellent beer in a real German pub. You will find an entire deck dedicated to children that even has a castle and pirate galleon. And for moments of pure relaxation, there is a great spa at your disposal where you can enjoy a massage and look at the sea. A real treat. You all know I have strong opinions about massages on board and spa prices and things like that. I've talked about those in other videos as well. But if the price is right, I might visit the spa on Costa just to get an impression of what it's like. The ship's details: it has 756 balcony cabins, 11 swimming pools and hot tubs. That sounds like, so many, but it's probably 2 swimming pools and then 9 hot tubs. It has 8 restaurants and snack bars and 11 bars and lounges. We'll go through the other activities here. It has a teppanyaki restaurant, Pomodoro Pizzeria, a gelateria, gelato, Birreria, what is that? If you're looking for an authentic Italian taste experience on board, come and discover one of our most interesting novelties. Oh, the brewery. It's a brewery. The Aperol Spritz Bar. I am not a fan of Aperol Spritz. I don't like that bitter taste. The Divino Granduce di Toscana. Sorry, Italian people. I know that it gets so annoying. I'm gonna try not to do it, okay? I know not all Italian people sound like Mario from Nintendo when they speak English. Anyways, the Divino Granduce di Toscana is a wine bar. Then there's a Bollicini bar, which looks like another bar. The Club Diadema restaurant, it says gourmet menu featuring elegant signature dishes from the executive chef in an exclusive environment with great service. That might be the main dining room. For fun and wellness, they list a video arcade, theater, casino, squawk club. Oh, that's the kids' club. Indoor Peppa Pig area, also for kids. A gym, the Zamzara Spa and Venus Beauty. Everything you need for your beauty. Hairdresser, facial mask to refresh and tone you. Hair removal and manicure to always be at your best. The Galleria Shops, multi-purpose sports pitch, outdoor jogging track. And then it goes on to show the cabins here. Like I said, the Diadema is not one of the newest ships from Costa. It was built in 2014. And I don't think it's been updated since then. The pictures on the website make it look somewhat outdated, but hey, I'm not gonna complain about it until I get there, and then I'll complain about it. Like when I was talking with Tony about this, it's not always necessarily complaining. It's more about just telling the truth and pointing out everything we see as a way to show what it's like to you. So you can always trust me to tell you the truth and to show you the things that are great and to also show you the things that are not so great. I have not booked the cruise yet. I'm still looking at dates, and of course I have to see how long it takes me to be able to test negative and get out of this situation. So it's not going to be in the next couple weeks. It might be before the end of January, maybe more like February. We'll just have to see how things develop. Who knows? This is probably going to be one of those things that I book and then it gets canceled or postponed. We'll see. But until then, now is going to come the time on Sunday Sofa Time, even though it's not Sunday, where I comment on your comments live on air. In the last edition of Sofa Time, I told you that, Marcus tested positive. I didn't know yet then that I was positive. I thought I was gonna make it through without getting it. I talked a little bit about the unfair treatment between cruise lines and the theme parks in Florida, which seem to have, no regulations whatsoever compared to how many regulations the cruise ships have. Anyways, a lot of people had some really interesting feedback about that. So many people sent well wishes. Thank you so much. Like I said, I think we're gonna be fine, and I'm very happy for that. Anyways, these comments that I picked out are from that video. And the first one is from Sherry McGregor Robertson. Sherry has a question: tipping crew above the included cruise fare gratuities. So like if you've paid the gratuities in advance, what's your take on this? I'm a big fan of tipping for good service. And if we have done prepaid gratuities, that would never stop us from tipping a crew member that we experienced great service from. And in fact, we have done that before. And on our last cruise, which was on the Celebrity Apex, a really great ship, a really great cruise, not only did we tip with money, but we also bought a little gift for our cabin steward. It's the first time I've ever done that before. And let me ask you all again, do you tip more than the prepaid gratuities? Do you hand out cash to certain people that you've had great interactions with? And have you ever tipped a gift of something, like an object? And if you have, what was that? Next comment is from Crash 3 Times. Crash 3 Times writes, I would put the cat in the room with Marcus while you're sleeping on the sofa. I hope he feels better soon and that you are safe. Well, Crash 3 Times, I'm assuming you don't have a cat. What Crash is commenting on is, since Marcus has been kind of sneezy, sniffly, coughy, it's hard to sleep in the same room together because I'm a really light sleeper. And then when he starts coughing or sneezing, then I immediately wake up. So I've been sleeping on the blue couch, which is right over here, for about 4 nights now. And the first night, the cat was so excited that something was different. She thought I was awake and she wanted to play all night. So I didn't really get a lot of sleep at all. So the thing is, you cannot lock a cat in a room. The cat will not accept that. So if I were to lock her in the room with Marcus, after about 5 minutes, she would start to do everything she could to get out of that room. She would start scratching on the door. She would start pulling the blanket off of Marcus. She would start talking, singing, screaming, until one of us got up and let her out of the room. So thank you for that suggestion, but
not gonna happen.
The cat has gotten much more used to the situation at the moment, and I slept actually, for feeling really yucky before I went to bed, I slept really well. Final comment is from Melissa D. Melissa writes, such a great point about the unfair criticism that the cruises are getting when the parks are packed. My two sons had to quarantine from school for a week after we went on a Disney cruise where every single person was vaccinated and tested at the port, lots of distancing, cleaning, etc. They had to quarantine just in case. They had no symptoms or anything, but yet, two of their classmates went to the Disney parks with all the crowds, no distancing, no testing, no vaccine requirements, and they were able to go right back to school. Makes no sense whatsoever, and it's so unfair to the cruise lines. Yes, that makes no sense whatsoever, and a lot of the critical comments that have been coming in and the people I've spoken to that are critical of the situation point that out, that there just seems to be a lot of things that don't really make sense about this, and probably better not to go into that here. I try not to get into political discussions on this channel, but I will agree that, yeah, the way that the cruise lines and the cruise passengers are being treated makes basically no sense at all when you compare to what is allowed or not enforced in the theme parks. No sense. And to ask a question that I'm probably gonna regret opening the door for this is, what is it that we then as cruise fans want? Do we want no testing to get on a cruise? Do we want it to stay like it is? And as like a penalty or whatever, that the theme parks have to start testing and they have to start enforcing mask wearing and they have to start enforcing social distancing? What is it that we want? What is it that would make it feel better? Of course, we all want everybody to be healthy. We all want to avoid transmitting or contracting any strain of COVID. But with this unfair treatment of the cruise lines, what is it that we want? All right, I will give you an update in the next few days, but I think before I end up sitting down here in front of the red sofa again, I'm gonna upload another video from Florida, and it's gonna be the adult's guide or Disney fans guide to Legoland. If you are a fan of the Disney themed dark rides, I think you'll really enjoy Legoland in Florida, and I'm gonna go through and tell you some of the highlights and some of the things that you might miss, because Legoland is confusing and some of their attractions are kind of hidden. Also talk in the video a little bit about the history of Legoland. It used to be Cypress Gardens, which is like an old school style attraction in Florida that I know a lot of you know as well. So check back for that video in the next couple of days. Make sure you're subscribed and have the notifications on so you'll know when it goes online. See you later.